South Africa has gone through a lot with our past and our history, and I think the best way we can sort of break barriers and get to learn each other's cultures and identities is if we can speak each other's languages.
The bilingual program is the first in the country, and a lot of people, when they hear that children are learning in two languages, in English and isiZulu, they think that it's something that is impossible. It's impossible to learn in two languages and also to learn in an indigenous language, and to make people understand that it is possible for children to learn in both languages and to also have quality education while learning in an African language.
The research shows definitively that any student that is taught within a bilingual program, it has incredible pros for their educational and their cognitive development.
I think in the country we live in, I think it's useful to learn and know more than one language in the country. I also think that it enables one to develop a sense of, or a skill of learning either another language or more difficult concepts. And I think that's probably one of the things that comes through, or we've seen anyway, come through as a benefit, which I think will stand him in good stead into the future.
Logistically, in our grade 2 and 3 classes, there's not a specific isiZulu lesson. The content of the English and the maths in our inquiry fluctuates between the two languages. Words are taught in that way. The children grasp content in both languages. Mathematics obviously becomes a little more challenging because the books are in isiZulu and they need to learn to read those words as well, but they become more of their sight words. The teacher then has to plan for both languages and not just take the language in English, in native language. We have to make sure that everything is balanced in both so that the children have exposure but also have understanding. When it comes down to PE, that is also a chance where some of the instructions can be offered in isiZulu, but all of our other subjects, the music, art, drama, IT, they are offered in English. We have an opportunity though where some of the children translate to the teachers so that there is some fluidity between the languages.
Your number that you chose, 40 no 50,
absolutely an increased confidence in herself and who she is, becoming a lot more comfortable with who she is, and a greater willingness to learn the language and embrace the challenges of learning language, even when she's not aware of what the language is or any challenges that there are, but being willing to just experience that.
Living in a multicultural country like South Africa, and me looking forward to where these children will be going in the future, it really was important in terms of nation building. I truly do believe that when we as South Africans learn to speak each other's languages, we will start to deal with a lot of the racial issues that we might find in South Africa.
So the different methods that I use in my class in the bilingual program is a lot of conversational. So we use a lot of conversational time in the morning to just get to know each other. And I find that also that helps the children with their vocab. And then, you know, as the day goes on, they carry on speaking, and you as a teacher just has to act as a facilitator. And they use that vocab and that everyday language in the classroom.
Okay, so we've got these 4 friends. Okay, we've got 3 friends. They're going to split.
This program reminds me of my experience that I had at school, where I did not have an opportunity to feel like I'm a part of the environment, to feel included. So I see a lot of children in my classroom who feel like they belong, they're free, they're confident, because we've provided a space for them to include a linguistic diversity. And you know, I see a lot of children who are tolerant with each other, and that's something that we need in our communities.
I think it was a great idea. I grew up speaking Xhosa before actually I spoke English, and so saw the benefit of being able to speak someone else's language and conversing in their mother tongue, and the benefits that gave in deepening relationships with people, you know, who you obviously know well, but also creating new relationships with people who you might not necessarily be speaking to otherwise. So I thought it was an excellent program and something that James would benefit a lot from.
I enjoy that all the people in my class are very supportive and that I can learn 2 different languages and that I can use both of them, and it's also helped me to speak Zulu more fluently.
If you take the two sides, if you take the educational value of a bilingual program, and we also at Redhill, as we always do massive research, we know that children in a bilingual program cognitively are far more developed than children that are not studying in a bilingual program. And if we take the whole idea of being in South Africa, a diverse, multicultural country where we need to learn to treat each other as equals, if we're going to do that, then we need to learn to speak each other's languages.
As they come in, they're very unsure and uncertain of their language skills. And we just build on what they know from that point onwards. And you can see their confidence grows, as they learn more vocab. And we send home weekly challenges, which helps, because then they not only see us speaking isiZulu in the classroom, but they can go home and actually speak with their parents in the isiZulu as well. And then collaborating with another bilingual class in the school also helps to see themselves as part of a community, an isiZulu speaking community.
We provide resources not just for the children, but also the parents, just to empower them and to feel, confident and, not overwhelmed or stressed around the idea, like, how will I be able to assist my child? They already know how to assist their child in the English part of it, but like, what will I do if my child comes home with the isiZulu part of it?
One of the problems we often have is that parents who haven't had a bilingual education cannot understand how their child will be able to learn mathematics in isiZulu. And the only reason for that is because we have a living memory of our own experiences. And so what happens is we think as adults, if you had to try and teach me mathematics in isiZulu now, there's no way I could do this. And my advice for parents is you really have to take your parent or your lived experience as an adult, having probably only gone through learning one language. You've got to take that out of the equation, and you've got to trust the research that we do at Redhill and do your own research to show you that your child, if they're given this opportunity, will be able to do things that you can't do now.
How much is a touch? 25, 25, 25. What is father?
So I'd say to parents, maybe look at it beyond the language. Maybe that becomes a bit of a mind block.
I think it's a fantastic program. It really is something that for the kids is hugely beneficial, both in terms of learning a new language, but also in terms of the process of learning that language.
Means soap.
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 I know which one's soap.
Soap.
I got it.
Soap. Timbon. You see? What is it? Read it for me. Inti.
So absolutely do your homework about the bilingual class. Speak to your child's current teachers. Ask as many questions as you can. Educate yourselves about the program. Speak to the bilingual teacher who is going to be teaching the class. Learn a bit more about Redhill's approach to the bilingual program too, but absolutely a no-brainer from our perspective. It has been an absolutely fulfilling, uplifting experience that we've had in this program.
As a parent, I would absolutely want you to come over and see how these classes work. It is a big decision, and it's the right decision for certain children. Come along to our classes, come and experience. Our teachers want you to be in their classrooms. They want you to come and see how their classrooms work. The children love it. We love having people around. Come and talk to us about what our expectations are, but also how this program will grow and how it will enable your child to become who we want them to be.
I would hope that people will identify Redhill students as being bilingual, speaking an African language, being truly proudly South African, while at the same time, being internationally minded. I think that is really important. I'd love to see the bilingual program grow. I'd love to see more and more students take the bilingual program. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to walk around the campus and just naturally see children talking to each other in isiZulu instead of English?